Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition and the final edition of the OCVarsity Gridiron Show just for the fall of 2021. It's been a great season. We've come down to one last game, Mr. Fryer, and as I want to thank all our viewers for following our show all year. We appreciate you guys liking our videos, subscribing, or just checking them out and sharing them, whatever level of participation. Of course, I appreciate this guy, Steve Fryer, for chatting. Steve, we're coming off an 0-4 performance in our picks. We went with the OC teams in the regional round, SoCal Regional. Orange County went 0-4, but that doesn't mean they didn't play well. Orange Lutheran, Newport, Northwood, and Laware were all in those games over the weekend, had leads at times, but did come up short. But this week, in the Open Division final, Saturday night at Saddleback College, 8 o'clock, it's seeming like Orange County, and I think our picks could be pretty safe at this point, Mater Dei defeating Serra of San Mateo.
Yeah, I think so too. Reading like our friend Mark Tennis at Cal High Sports, he says it'd be a large upset if Serra wins this game. Mater Dei has, like, I keep using the word flawless, but it's an accurate word to use. When you talk about Mater Dei, they'd have to make a boatload of mistakes for Serra to beat them. And even when they make a lot of mistakes, Mater Dei still wins. They have so many things going for them. I don't see Mater Dei losing this football game, Dan.
Yeah, the Cal Preps projections has this game 48-0 projection.
Oh no, really? 48-0? I didn't see that. Good Lord.
48-0. That means running clock in the fourth quarter potentially. But let's give Serra the credit they deserve. They are 11-1. They've got to this far. They're representing Northern California. Coach Walsh is an excellent coach. Also a very important figure in the return to play, the let them play movement, the California Coaches Association. He was one of the leaders in the forefront of that. That's a couple things for starters. They get sometimes regular text messages, voicemail messages from none other than Tom Brady. Maybe Tom Brady will be at Saddleback College, Fryer, on Saturday.
Maybe he won't. But you know what? But you know what? I told, I was talking to Coach Walsh earlier, and I said, right now there's something going on, like a ESPN, the Man in the Arena thing, whatever it is, about the, I think 2007 New England team that was undefeated, went to the Super Bowl, heavy favorites, lost to the Giants. Serra might be the New York Giants and pull that thing off. I mean, if I'm Patrick Walsh, the coach of Serra, I tell those guys that story, Sure. But it happens, the 1969 New York Jets beating the Colts. All kinds of things happen, Buster Douglas, Mike Tyson. Upsets happen.
That's right. Let's talk a little bit more. Serra Padres, 11-1. So their one loss was to St. Francis in league, early on in league.
Right.
Then they came back and beat St. Francis in the CIF final. Some of the strains for Serra, of course, just like Mater Dei coming off a bye, so that gives them some some extra prep time. They have a pretty good defense, allowing 13 points a game, have a good group of linebackers. Now, the only game they really struggled defensively was in that St. Francis loss. They gave up 44 points. If they didn't have that on their record, they would they'd have a much that 13 points a game allowed might be even lower. Offensively, got a good dual threat cornerback, Dominic Lampkin, who's a senior. They're kind of a run-oriented team. They have a running back, G, who's ran for about 800 yards or so, latest max preps type stats. They probably lost their best player during the season to a knee injury, and that was Hassan Mahassin, athlete committed to San Diego State. He was, as a junior, he was the Bay Area group player of the year as a junior. He's an athlete. He's the top recruit on San Diego State, who's still honoring his commitment and recruitment despite his injury. And, it's interesting about San Diego State is, that's also the future home of Mater Dei safety standout senior Josh Hunter is committed to the Aztecs. And Serra also has a couple good offensive linemen and a good offensive tackles. And I believe one of them is also committed to San Diego State. But does any of this here, Fryer, does any of this is convincing you the Tom Brady, the good defense, the run control, dual threat quarterback? What do you think? Does this give Serra some kind of a chance?
Mater Dei still got to be the overwhelming favorite. You and I have seen them enough to know that they are about as good as any football team we've covered. And we've covered this game in Orange County for a long, long time. Yeah. But, Serra had to transfer when Mahassan got hurt. They had to go from a pass happy team. And also they lost another really good receiver named Joey Villaroman. They went from a pass oriented team to a run oriented team, really relied on their defense. You talk about that big score they gave up to St. Francis. They lost 44-21. Then they come back and beat St. Francis in the playoffs 16-12.
Yeah.
So a team that they gave up 44 points to, they held them to 12.
There you go.
Wow. So good defense over there, and they're running the ball. They kind of had to re-ID themselves. Pretty tough to do, but managed to do it. It says a lot about Coach Walsh's and his staff that they were able to retool that team. Go from a dragster into a team that had to go 500 miles and win a long NASCAR race. Pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
But how do you attack Mater Dei? Run, throw, whatever. I just don't see any flaws in this game. Heck, Mater Dei's probably got the best kicker in the county too, Chase Meyer, right? They got everything.
They're up there. I think Ryan Ewing at Mission Viejo is very good as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of good kickers in Orange County. You watch college football games, man, and I see these kickers missing field goals, and I go, there's 5 guys in Orange County could make that kick, man. So. Yeah,
Dieter Kelly's got a pretty good leg at Orange Lutheran.
Tons of dudes, man. I see them all over the place in these games.
Yeah, we talk a lot about the Serra, ground attack, and that's the Mater Dei defense. That's what they excel at the most. No one's really rushed on them all year. Especially, I think the Duncanville game, the running back had a decent game, but ever since then, no one's been able to run against them. We just saw what they did against Servite in that ground attack, holding Servite to 7 points, shut them out for the last 3 quarters. All Servite got in that Division I final was a short field touchdown after an interception by Zion Sims on a deflection. So, and then obviously Mater Dei, they're running the ball so well with recent USC commit. Relique Brown, and then you got Elijah Brown, the sophomore quarterback, looking so steady. That young offensive line. So Mater Dei and good receivers. C.J. Williams committed to Notre Dame. Cooper Barcake committed to Harvard. So the thing is, obviously with Mater Dei, you just wonder where they are. Distraction wise. With obviously a lot of the controversy swirling over the alleged hazing incident, and then another report that came out about alleged fight involving some Mater Dei football players. So it's interesting psychologically for Mater Dei is and when the controversy first surfaced as far as publicly, it's first surfaced a few days before the Division I final on a Saturday. That story broke, I think, about Tuesday midday, and then they were playing at Veterans Stadium on Saturday. Now that incident dates back to February. So Mater Dei football and those players and coaches knew about this alleged hazing and the fight that we have seen now on social media. They've known about that since February, but it was public
right
a few days. But now there's been a bye week and an additional story that's come out. It's out there a little bit more that they have to deal with it a longer period of time. How do you think? It's hard to tell how Mater Dei is, focus wise. They showed great focus on the field, played pretty clean football against Servite.
Yes.
That seems to be the challenge again. Would you say?
Mark Wicker, our columnist and compadre, Mark Wicker, used the phrase circling the wagons to describe Mater Dei's posture. totally expected that. Something I think about as far as the players go, distractions, things like that, where their minds are. For the players at Mater Dei, St. John Bosco is their rival. But for Rawlinson and people of his age bracket and mine, is that Servite Mater Dei is the rival game. So those boys, when they look at the Servite game for the last few years, they look at the Servite game as win it for Rawlinson, win it for Rollo. I think they're going to do that with this too. I think they're in win it for Rollo mode. We're going to win it for our coach. You know, our coach is embattled. We got his back. We're going to play for him and win it for him. I think that for the players, it's not a distraction. It's just more motivation. I think that they will play with that mindset.
They're also playing for, Mater Dei is also playing for a national title. That would be the fifth.
Yeah, there's that too, isn't there?
There's the fifth national title. I believe it would be under Coach Rawlinson.
Correct.
Playing for a perfect season.
Yes.
You know, Coach Rawlinson is fielding a lot of questions about his future. If he's coach yes, he is. So you wonder, you know, people are wondering and asking him if this is his last game. I don't know if that's part of their motivation. A lot of these kids, it's their last high school game. The seniors, they're playing, you know, these kids, some of them highly recruited kids are going to be early graduates. They'll be graduating later this month and enrolling. There'll probably be a few Monarchs like that that are moving on. So they're playing. There's a lot of different emotions when you're playing your last game. Got a pretty good, very accomplished senior class of guys that kids. So they were very focused. I felt like against Servite, and it'll be. I think that's a similar challenge, but maybe a little bit tougher challenge because of the additional bye week and you know, more controversy. Headlines and people are talking about the program's culture so much.
Yeah, I still think the kids are going to be fired up and win it for Rollo. That's what we're going to see out there. 48-0. I don't know about 48-0. Can I see 48-0 happening with this group of talent and the good coaching in Mater Dei? Yeah, I can see 48-0 happen. It's kind of like a way, but yeah, it's within the realm of it. Sure.
Yeah, you know, and it just depends too. I mean, if they are unfocused and make some mistakes, I mean, is Serra good enough to capitalize on some of them? But is it to the extent that they could actually win the game? Where
I don't,
you know,
no.
Servite intercepted 2 passes against Mater Dei, but the team's penalties were about the same. Servite might have even had a penalty or 2 more, but they both committed about the same amount of penalties. And you saw how good Mater Dei was able to, you know, on the field, they're able to cover up those mistakes on the field, the turnovers. Their defense makes a stand. They recovered, you know, they had the turnover was on the one, I think it was the first play from scrimmage, right?
Yeah. You know who's going to have a big game Saturday? And he's had a bunch of them. Relique Brown.
Yeah, Relique's been playing great all year.
You know, we talked about the passing game with Elijah Brown, CJ Williams, Cooper, all those cats. Pretty damn good, right? Great offensive line. That guy, that Relique Brown guy, changed his directions. You know, he's over here, and then all of a sudden he's over here. And then when he cuts, and then as soon as he lands on his little jump cuts, the guy's going 90 miles an hour, like on his first step. Like, that guy is Barry, you know, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders sort of guy. And his speed off of his cuts, his nose for the hole, you know, his vision is able to slip the hip just enough to where he doesn't get hit solid, sort of like Gale Sayers used to do. You know, every time I see him run, I'm all these guys flashing in my head, you know, of little, you know, guys who weren't necessarily huge, because Relique's what, 5'9" or something. But dang, that guy can freaking move. Good
you know, he's been recruited as an all-purpose back, and you wonder what position he's going to play at.
Darren Sproles.
Yeah, I mean, I think you wonder if he's more of a slot receiver in the college level, all-purpose back, some carries. So because it's gonna be interesting where he goes. But you know, but with all your comparisons, I think it tells me we just haven't seen a running back quite like this at this level in Orange County in quite some times. I can't really compare him to see him, any guy that has been as fast as he is, as elusive and strong as him. That really
And
the
sprint speed,
Yeah.
he's got everything. He's solidly built,
Yeah.
So a one-on-one tackle may not work because he's got the lower body thing. It's an amazing player. I've always loved running backs. Deshaun Foster was, Deshaun Foster, the best guy I seen in high school ball. Deshaun was powerful and quick and fast and all that. This Relique Brown, his jump cuts and then firing off the cut, little different.
Yeah. And Deshaun did play 2 ways for Tustin. He did play some defensive back, and he could be elusive.
Yeah, sure. It was great. He's a great linebacker, a good tackler.
Yeah. And
I saw him, I swear, I saw him intercept the ball at the opponent's 15 and take 2 strides and go into the end zone. I swear to you, that's what I saw. I don't know. He'd like took 1 step this way, another step that way, then he's in the end zone. How he covered 15 yards in 2 strides, I have no idea how Deshaun Foster did that, but
he was a long strider.
Maybe 3 strides, maybe I'm exaggerating, but gosh darn, that was like, of all the running things that I saw him do, that defensive play is like one of the strangest things I've ever seen an athlete pull off.
Yeah. And with Relique, I mean, we're talking about 4.3 speed. So, so that's different kind of speed.
Yeah. And he's not even the fastest guy in the team.
Who's faster than Relique?
Damani Jackson.
Oh yeah. Okay. That would be a great race. And let's hope Damani gets back to his full speed.
Yep.
And they're future USC teammates there. So, well, one thing that is not certain is that you won the taco challenge. You got me for the year, by 2 games. So congratulations to you, Mr. Fryer. And the next time we're back on this show, I will definitely be posting a photo of me buying Steve Fryer some fine tacos. I hope that's the case. If it's not the next time, it's coming soon in January.
Yeah, we'll do it. I'm ready to go. I've already got the spot figured out and everything.
That's right. So looking forward to that time with you. And when we're back, we'll be talking some boys and girls basketball as we shift into the winter season. So, but before then, I will be seeing you Saturday night at Saddleback College.
I hope they let me in.
I think they will. You show them that press credential and flash your pearly whites, and I think you'll be good.
Sounds cool, man.
So, well, again, thanks to everyone for checking out our taking this football journey with us in 2021. It was a complete full season after the pandemic shortened spring season. So, a lot of great games, a lot of great memories. Orange County had an awesome year with a lot of several CIF championships, going for a state title on Saturday, and let's see how it finishes down there, Fryer.
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to seeing Mater Dei Serra play. It's always fun watching Mater Dei football. You just see so many great athletes out there, and it's gonna be a great game. Saddleback College is a fantastic venue these days. Love it. It's gonna be great.
Maybe we'll be hanging out with Tom Brady, asking him about Saddleback College and the matchup.
I understand Tom's already texted me while I was talking here, and because somehow he's got a live feed on this. He's buying the tacos.
There you go. We are there. So, hey, everybody, talk to you next time.